Began doing hair replacement. It must have been like in the early 80s, and I was doing it in the salon, but my main reason for doing it was I needed it myself. Hair, and we're just here hanging out talking about hair and hair restoration and hair loss. If you don't know already, I'm Vern Cole, and I'm the founder of the Hair Restoration Institute, and I'm actually a client of it as well. I began doing hair replacement. It must have been like in the early 80s, and I was doing it in the salon, but my main reason for doing it was I needed it myself at, I think like I was about 19, 20 years old. And I started losing my hair, and I could really tell when my hair got wet. I was starting to see through my scalp, and at that age, it was just uncomfortable being in the business, losing my hair. My friends and colleagues thought I was going crazy, that I was just kind of making it up. They really didn't have any idea, because I could make my hair look a lot thicker than it really was by sometimes putting a body wave in it or blow drying it. You got to remember back in the 80s we were blow drying hair, and I could make it look like there was more hair. I remember one time I was I was holding this one young child. It was in a, well, let me just back up. I was looking at some photos where there was a man who was holding a young child, and the shot was from, behind his head, and this was the child. And I mistakenly said to the person who was the mother of the child, "Wow, is that Larry?" He goes, "Wow, he really looks like he's losing his hair." She said, "No, that's you." And I went, "What?" I mean, how often do you, I wasn't used to going around, or I didn't go around looking at myself with a mirror, holding a mirror up and having a mirror behind me to see what was going on in the back. But what an eye-opener. And I don't know, I just started to get more self-conscious, especially being the age that I was. And so that was kind of the beginning of my story of how I went about looking at, the different options that were available back then of either stopping the hair loss or trying to get my hair back. So here are some of the things that I did prior to, having my hair replaced. I remember back in, it must have been the early 80s when Rogaine became on the market. You couldn't even buy it over the counter. You had to have a doctor's prescription, and I was actually going to be used in a kind of a test that this doctor was doing, and he's going to have so many guys using it for so long and monitoring their progress. I was so desperate. I wanted my hair back so bad. I volunteered to do that. I went to other places, and there were different forms of either Rogaine or, I didn't call them back then what I'm going to call them now, but they were basically lotions and potions. There were these ointments that you were supposed to put on your head, these different vials, these different stimulating brushes, things that were going to increase blood flow, I guess. But I was so desperate. I remember one time I responded to an ad in the newspaper and went to downtown Minneapolis, and there was some guy that was doing his presentation in a hotel room. He actually, when I met this guy, he had a lab coat on, and I think it was just a part of the presentation, but sold me a big suitcase of lotions and potions and brushes and things of that nature. I don't even remember how much it cost, but I was desperate. I would have done anything. And when I realized after doing that for so long and using other different topicals and shampoos, I won't mention any names, but there were even professional products that were supposed to either stop hair loss or grow hair back. Nothing seemed to be working. I had the balding gene. I was named after my dad, and my dad, I looked at pictures of him when he was like 24, 25, and he was really losing his hair, thinning, balding, big receding hairline. I thought, it's just inevitable that I'm going to lose my hair.